We are back with Facts Matter. I am Aton. This is Mookie. And we've got a real doozy for you guys today. We're going to be talking about the West Bank in Palestine and how it really isn't such a bad place to live in. I'm going to show you why I think they're actually living better than I do right now. And I'm also going to talk about why Santa Claus is real because the government says so. And I'm going to explain to you why that should be important to us, especially when they're saying it to our kids. Now, little guy's going to leave us for now. And we're going to get right into the topic about the West Bank. So let's start with a few basic fundamental understandings about what life is probably like for the average Palestinian. Keep in mind that I don't know of any housing market in Palestine. I'm assuming they all get free rent. I know they get electricity sent from Israel for free. I know they get free internet from Israel. I know that Israel gives them water. I know that the food is subsidized to some degree. And I know that this is true for the vast majority of Palestinians, at least the ones living in refugee camps. And I'm assuming the ones that don't live in those refugee camps are probably the ones who have jobs with UNRWA or other UN agencies or quote unquote Gazan journalists. And, you know, they have some means of making an income where they don't need to be on assistance and are probably considered, you know, wealthy in that society. Now, you're going to ask me, well, how can you prove these things? And I can't go to every home in Palestine, but what I can show you is some footage we recently found from a YouTuber by the name of The Saluki, and we'll put his information up. And so that's who he is. And now let's get on to showing some of his content, showing some of what he was showing us from Jenin.
Argentine.
It's a good job here in Palestine?
It's good if you found a job. Here in West Bank, it's the life is good, not so bad as the people think outside.
Yeah.
Our house, it's old. It's not new. It's if you see the other rooms, it's like.
Oh, shukran.
Oh. I like video games. I like to play on the piano.
Which video games?
CSGO, you know CSGO?
Yeah. What's your rank?
You know it?
Of course, yeah.
I'm Goldova.
Bolnova, yeah.
Yes. If you take a look there, that's my cousin's house. You can see some damage.
What's the damage from?
Like missiles. You know.
Israel?
RPG, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
There's army location, base.
There's a base inside Jenin, hey? That building over there.
Buildings, not just one.
No, it's mucha. Pero se puede matar. Sabes nadar, ¿no?
Sí, claro. Qué honor.
Tírala.
Okay.
Tira, ella vuela.
Ciao.
طالع ما هي معفنة هي معفنة.
I dare you to eat one.
Okay. Which one? The red or the...
Of course, the red.
Okay.
Is it hot?
Yeah, I already... ya he comido uno.
Uno pone Heitzel. Toma donde quieras.
Gracias. ¿Qué tiene aquí? Carne...
Did you just see what I just saw, Mookie? Because that guy is definitely living a better life than I am right now, and most of the people that I know. And I'm not exaggerating. That kid is basically unemployed, plays video games and piano all day, has a swimming pool, high-speed internet, and he's eating a lot better than I am. You know, that dish looks like it has 50 ingredients in it. So suggesting like Palestinians don't have access to this or that, that's not what I'm seeing in that plate of food and in that home. The guy has a swimming pool. Now, it may not be, the fanciest swimming pool in the world, but I don't see many swimming pools in Yemen or Tunisia. I don't see the average dude there balling it up like, I'm seeing in this video. So when people are talking about, Palestinians' right to self-determination, did anyone really explain to them that all these comforts that they have that are subsidized through the UN are not going to be free? That like they will probably have maybe 70 to 60% of what I'm seeing in that home if they are lucky, because that is probably that's what's happening in Lebanon right now, right? So if Lebanon's economy is that bad and it at least has some tourism, what is Gaza and the West Bank's economy going to be predicated on? Right? Like, I don't think this whole self-determination idea has been thought out too thoroughly or explained to the people who are demanding it. I really believe that if they knew the current state of our economies and how we are living, they wouldn't be complaining quite as much about their situation. Now, I'm not saying it's perfect, but what I am saying is that it's not that bad when comparing it to what I see in countries like Nigeria and Pakistan and Yemen and Somalia, where people have considerably worse living conditions, considerably worse. And they aren't going and attacking some minority living next to them and, butchering them like animals, and the world saying it's okay just because they have better living conditions than them or are stopping them from having better living conditions. All right? There's trees there, there's greenery there. You don't see any of that in Yemen. This is not a prison. Or if it is a prison, it's a prison I probably would want to live in. I don't see it as that bad, especially when like all your family's there, all your relatives are there. Life seems pretty carefree to me. Anyways, now we're going to get into another topic. I'll leave this behind for now. Let you guys draw your own conclusions about how bad the West Bank really is. Now, we're not talking about Gaza. I'm sure Gaza's a little worse, but you guys need to remember that even the Palestinians in the West Bank are crazy pro-terrorism fanatics for the most part. 80% of them approved of October 7th. So when we take that into account, how is it that people who live under those conditions can really foment the same kind of ideas that Gaza has, unless there's a correlating link that has really nothing to do with living conditions, which has more to do about ideology. All right, so we move past that, we're on to Santa. Santa Claus is real. Yeah, you heard it from a 2-star general, and we're actually going to show you the footage of where this man in an army uniform, straight-faced, is telling the whole nation of Canada, all the kids in Canada, that Santa is real, so that, the average 8-year-old can go to the schoolyard the next day and get into a serious, heated debate on whether Santa's credentials are authentic or not. Now, I don't know what the purpose of this is. I don't know why our government would think it's a good idea to realistically sell Santa through the government to our kids, unless the government has some plan where, they want to make all the kids believe that the government lies to them about everything. That's the only thing that would make sense to me as to why you would go to that extent, right? Like, this program has always been in effect. It was created, I think, in like 1958 due to like a prank call. It wasn't actually a prank call. They found out it was like a phone number in a newspaper where like 30,000 kids ended up calling it. And apparently they were calling like some super secret branch of NORAD. And this is how it all began, how they began tracking Santa since the 1950s. Now, nobody really knew about this, or people knew and just, really didn't talk about it very much. But, the footage that we're putting up in a second, it's going to blow your mind away when you really think about the extent to which the government is going to sell this as an idea that would be actually like believable to a child. All right, let's put it up.
And finally, as you all know, the North American Aerospace Defense Command, or NORAD, defends our North American airspace each and every day. However, on Christmas Eve, NORAD has one additional special mission, tracking Santa as he makes his way across the globe. This is NORAD's 68th year conducting this important mission, and children and families worldwide will be able to call to ask NORAD's live operators about Santa's location on the 24th, starting at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The phone number to call is 1-877-HI-NORAD, Hi NORAD, or 877-446-6723. You will also be able to track St. Nick's annual journey on the NORAD Track Santa website, Facebook, X, Instagram, and YouTube. And last year alone, NORAD answered over 73,000 calls just on December 24th alone, and the program generated more than 2 million social media followers. Every year, more than 1,000 American and Canadian members of NORAD volunteers and a variety of corporate contributors are proud to continue the tradition of tracking Santa.
So, like, seriously, that happened. Okay, that happened. That was real. All right. Now, like I said, I don't know what it's all about. I don't know if it's about like brainwashing the kids. I don't know if it's just like distracting them. Maybe the world's about to end. They want to give all the kids like a little bit of a happiness in their lives before they have to face, the realities that we're all facing. Hopefully everything gets better, and I'm just being a little crazy right now. But I still think it's disturbing seeing, like you would have at least thought he'd smirk, right? Like he'd be like, yeah, Santa's real, like, no, he's like, Santa's real. Santa's real. And we've got all this information to prove it. Like you can log in and see it yourself. We track this guy, right? Like this is an important asset to cover, right? You might get attacked by Russian and enemy forces. The U.S. defense industry and the Canadian military, we're going to make sure we're on top of this. For you. All right. That's it for today, guys. I hope you had fun with me. And we'll be back very soon. Take care and bye.